Most people do not understand how you should properly assemble a Facebook advertising campaign. And as a result, many of them, or very few of them, ever get the maximum juice out of what they can get, even when they have a brilliant product. A lot of people out there have fantastic products. They do very well on Facebook ads, but they never hit the limit of what they can do or the potential of what they can do, because oftentimes their campaigns are badly structured. So in this video, I'm going to show you how should you structure a Facebook advertising campaign properly. What are the sort of pitfalls and the risks of not doing it properly? And of course, what impact will it have on your results if you do it the right way? Hey everybody, this is Ronaldo Edmondson coming to you with some more Facebook advertising insights. And in this video, I'm going to debunk and assist you with understanding how you should approach the building of a Facebook advertising campaign and why it is so important and vital to do it the right way. So, first things first, some pre-context in order to understand how we're going to do this. You must understand you are in whatever it is that you're doing, i.e. a business or some kind of promotion of a message, to try and have that message to appeal to a group of people. And that group of people has a characteristic and a behavior who, when they see your message, it's going to fulfill and help them solve the problem that your message is claiming to be created for. Because we don't create messages for nothing. There's usually a reason behind it. That reason there is the thing they're going to pay attention to your message. The problem is most people try and create a message that tries to blend in to and for everyone, and it ends up being for no one. And this is the first fundamental piece of a Facebook advertising campaign being done the right way. And this is essentially a bit of a cascade that I'm going to show you in a second. Now, first thing I want you to understand. Your messaging inside of Facebook ads is kind of like a little bit of a flashlight, right? Think about a flashlight or a torch, as we call it in the UK. A flashlight or a torch has limited reach, okay? There's only so far it can cover in width. Think of your message in that way. Your message should encapsulate enough people, but only enough people that can get the brightness of what a flashlight would be able to afford them, i.e. who meet the message most succinctly, most tightly, most appropriately. If you try and have your message span to everybody, even outside of the flashlight area, it will literally have no effect, and those people will be walking around in darkness and not have a clue whatever it is you was trying to say to them. And as a result, if you're spending money to reach such people, it's going to be a waste of your money and a waste of your time. You want to focus on the people that can really be hit by your message, i.e. get really hit by the flashlight, because it's going to shine on them very clearly, and they're going to see it. They're going to be moved by it, and they're going to do something about it. So think about it in that little sort of analogy. Now, given that's the case, we are therefore always speaking to what we can call a persona. That is the encapsulation or the embodiment of a person, a thing that makes them uniquely them. For example, let's say I am selling basketball jerseys, my favorite sport, basketball jerseys to basketball players, and the person or the people I'm selling to, they may be 18 to 25 years old. LeBron James LeBron James is likely their favorite player. They wear jerseys of that player, or they buy jerseys of that player. They also are actively playing pickup. Okay, we say pick up basketball. They may be, we can argue they're located in the Western Hemisphere. No, because basketball transcends borders now. So let's say, let's give one more element. They are most likely about 6 foot plus, okay, over 6 foot, for argument's sake. We can argue this here is what we can call a persona. And this persona is the person or the group of people that we want to shine our torch on. These are the people we want to reach. Now, inside of Facebook ads, I'm creating my product. I'm creating my service to speak to that particular persona or an overall group of personas. So let's say I had LeBron James jerseys, and I know LeBron James jerseys are going to be great for this person here. But let's say Steph Curry jerseys are going to be better for this person over here who likes the Golden State Warriors. So I may sell a library of jerseys, but the certain jerseys are going to appeal to certain types of people, and that certain persona has a particular outfit. Therefore, when I'm building a Facebook advertising campaign, the number one thing that I'm leading with at all times is ensuring that I'm speaking to one specific persona. Not many, just one inside of a campaign. And I'll go into why that is a little bit later. I'll try and remember to go into why. Now, inside of a persona, you have something called a segment. And a segment is a piece. It's a portion of people who meet that persona. It's a pocket of people that meet that specific persona. For example, there are people who love LeBron James in America. There's people who love him in the UK, and there's people who love him in China. Each one of those make up a different. Each one of those make up a different segment. One's China, one's USA, one's UK. Therefore, I can speak specifically to each of those different personas, those different segments within that persona, still leading with and providing that same item that I'm going to be selling to them. And on this same step or stage, you can say there is also something called, specifically in Facebook ads, placement. And that is, which placement or area will this persona best respond to? Will they respond to stories better? Will they respond to news feeds better? Will they respond to Instagram better? Is it a bit of an average and I don't mind where I just run ads to? Or do I specifically run ads to one placement more than another and just focus on the one? In this instance, guys, you're always going to be choosing one or the other. You're either going to choose segment or you're going to choose placement. You're never going to choose both of them at the same time. That is a no-no. Okay. Now let's just I'm just going to rub this out so I can get myself some more space. Now let's say inside now of that, so level one, the top of your campaign is always going to start with a persona. Your next priority, the next thing you're going to be creating towards or layering towards is segment or placement, one or the other. The third thing within there then you have is something called the solution. And solution, simply means the product or the service being offered. That service or product is created for who? It's created for this person over here, the persona. And therefore it must speak to that persona correctly. In some instances, it might be created for a segment of that persona, but we'll keep now to the persona. Therefore, when you're whether it's one item, 2 items, or 10, if it doesn't speak to that specific persona, it belongs in a different campaign. If it speaks to that persona, it can be kept inside of that same campaign. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, your next one and your final step, therefore, the bottom of the cascade is your message. All right. Now your message, of course, speaks to or articulates your solution to the segment, and it articulates your solution to the persona. And you can have many messages, oftentimes, for one persona. Why? Because I want to see which one they respond to. We sell very unique LeBron James jerseys. They're not all the same. They're not all the typical colors. We might have one like this, one like that, and one like this, and we don't know which one people are going to want. And we've got a story behind why we customized and created each one a certain way, but we don't know which story is going to resonate best. So therefore, we want to run story 1, story 2, story 3, story 4, and story 5 to people inside of a particular segment. See which one of these are going to work best. But in doing this, I'm still keeping everything within this principle of a persona, right? Because that's where the campaign is structured. Now, once you get this, once you understand this, you now have the infrastructure, the beginnings of building a campaign that is now trustworthy in that the results that they produce are very likely to be accurate. Accurate doesn't mean favorable. It doesn't mean that you're going to create a campaign where it's wildly profitable and you're going to be doing very well. You're going to create a campaign that's going to give you an accurate read on how the market thinks about your product or service, so you can make an intelligent decision on how you now want to approach next. It gives you the foundation to test properly. Gosh, this is golden. Now, how are Facebook advertising campaigns therefore structured? So I want you to think about what we've just covered. A Facebook advertising campaign essentially works like this. You have a campaign at the top level. Inside of the campaign, you have something called ad sets. These are the area where you choose who will see your ads, the audiences, therefore, who will see your ads. Ad sets there, excuse my messy writing. And then inside of an ad set, you have something called ads. These are the creatives that people see. It's what delivers your ad and catches people's attention. And you can have, of course, many ads, times 3, times 10, times however many ads that you want. Of course, there's a best practice that we'll touch on in this little scope. Now, at the campaign level, we want to make sure we are marketing to what? Or we're starting with what? The persona. So we establish the persona at the top of a campaign. We also want to establish what type of campaign we are doing. Guys, always run a CBO campaign, campaign budget optimization. I've explained why in a different video. I think I can give a link or something in that in this little delivery, so you can see what video that's always. So you can see how CBO will work and why it's important that you use it. You're also going to establish your campaign objective. This is you telling Facebook who you want to go after based on what Facebook knows people do. Oh, I want to go after people who are going to like my page. I want to go after people who are going to click on my ads and go onto my website and purchase. Facebook knows those people who are known to do that activity, and it will optimize your campaign towards those people, whether it's conversions, lead generation, page likes, or whatever else. And of course, you'll also establish your bid type at this level, which is a little bit advanced for this video. So at the campaign level, these are what you are establishing. Now, at the ad set level, therefore, you are only now having to establish the what. I'm going to put this in like a little red outline. What are you establishing the ad set level? You're establishing the demographic. Sorry, not the demographic. Let's call it a segment, proper word. You're going to establish the segment, or you're going to establish the placement. All right. And now these two are going to be the same, because in this campaign style, there's many campaign styles we can put together, but this campaign style, we want to test which audience does our advertising work for best. So we need to keep the audiences not the same. Silly me. We need to keep the audiences varied. All right. So these are varied audiences. These are the only ones that will change. The ads stay the same. Why? Because we want to know, does this ad work for this audience, or does the ad work for this audience? If we change the ads, we're basically creating an apple my poor attempt to draw an apple versus a banana. We usually say apples to oranges, but an apple versus a banana. An apple and a banana cannot be compared because they're two different fruits. Therefore, we want to make sure we're always comparing apples to apples to ensure that the one apple that's working for is the red one and the one it's not working for is the green one. So I know I have to do what? I have to get rid of the green apple. I have to get rid of that campaign because I know this is the campaign that's working well, and I may now come and start testing new campaigns. Hopefully that continues to make some sense. Now, so what am I doing now at the ad level? At the ad level is where I establish all of my creatives. And those creatives typically should be in the form of a dynamic ad. So, as a dynamic ad, by doing that, I give myself the room and the space to test multiple assets. Assets like headlines. I want multiple headlines because I want Facebook to tell me which headline is best. I want to test multiple images because I want to see which of the images works best. And I want to test multiple texts. Usually 3 texts is enough. And by doing that, I get the full scope of real feedback. I have spoke to the persona that this campaign is built for. I've spoke to the segment or the placement. I'm going to circle segment because that's the easiest and most sensible one. And that segment is a valid segment within the valid group of people that I've created my product or service specifically for. And I've created a dynamic ad where I've tested multiple headlines and multiple texts to see which one works. So what is eventually going to happen with my campaign is I'm going to end up with a winner. This is my attempt to draw a winning cup with a winner, and that winner is going to tell me that this is the ad that works really well. I know this ad, whether I start a brand new campaign or run it with this one, this ad has been properly tested to know that it's working well. So this is now an ad that I can duplicate between audiences, and it's an ad that I can probably scale. Or I now know that this audience is the audience that my campaign works best for. And because this audience this is the audience that works best, I've got more data now on who I should be going after and targeting. This, my friends, sets up the principal foundation of how you properly advertise inside of Facebook to ensure that you are targeting the people who this thing that you've created for is truly for. It's been met by those people. You've tested segments within that persona, within those people, to ensure that of the different areas where these types of people live, which area receives me best, or which segment receives us best and our message best, and then which message is really popular with this audience. Is it none of the messages? Is it one of? Is it many of? And based on that, I now know and have validation that, okay, we know what data-driven decisions to make next. Now we need to start looking at and measuring. We got to go away and we got to analyze data. Maybe put together some visualization graphs where now we can start making sense of what's working and why it's working a certain way. Now we can start looking at new types of products and new lines and start making sense of what we should be doing. Or now we need to look at this, hiring these different types of salespeople, because for the leads that we're getting, we need these types of salespeople to close them, etc., etc. Things start to make sense. Nothing makes sense when you're just getting a campaign and you're starting Facebook ads by taking a product, throwing it into Facebook ads, having no idea who it's really for, not speaking to the problem in a way that's going to resonate well with that particular person, and basically running out of juice and running out of people to advertise to because everyone keeps ignoring your ads and you have no idea why it's not working. Structure it properly first. And I like to say, when you know the middle, the edge starts to make sense. Don't try and come from the edge in, start from the middle out, and then everything will start working in your favor. Hopefully that makes sense. Guys, if you have any questions, please reach out anytime. I'm always happy to help. Thank you.